Alright, okay, so hello everyone, it is me, Jay Burns, and in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this bracelet right here. This bracelet is my own original design, and it is called the Angelic Hearts bracelet. Because as you can see here, there are hearts, and they look like they have little angel wings. And yeah, so I'm going to be showing you how to make this bracelet. So to make this bracelet, you will need a hook, because this is a hook only design, so you'll only need a hook to make this. You will not need a loom. And also, for a recommendation, if you have a hook that has just a long just this straight part that comes after your actual hook, so just a long part like this, and you don't have this kind of bulky bigger part, then that would be useful. So a hook that looks like this here, so it doesn't have this bigger part, it's just all the hook. But I will be using this regular crochet hook because it is long enough for me to, this part right here is long enough for me to use it and for you to see what's going on. You will also need a clip, and mine rolled away, so I'll just use this clip as an example. So you'll need a clip. I'll be using a C clip, and it won't be colored. It'll be like just a regular one like this one here. I have to go grab my clip, but any clip that is used to make rubber band bracelets should work. And also you will need rubber bands, and as you can see here, there are 3 different groups, the A, B, and C group. And I'm going to go ahead and explain what each group is. So the A group, these A rubber bands, they are all the rubber bands that make up the actual hearts on the bracelet. So the pink rubber bands here in this example, they're the hearts. These B rubber bands, they are the rubber bands that are the wings for your hearts. So these kind of blue-green rubber bands, these are the, gosh, what are these called? I think they're the Caribbean green. I can't remember what they are called, but I'll have it in the description. That's what these rubber bands are. And then your C rubber bands, they are all the other rubber bands in your bracelet. They are the connector bands, the rubber bands that connect all of the hearts together. And as you can see here in this example, they are kind of twisted and crossed in the middle. You can make this bracelet without them being crossed like this, because it is a little tricky, and just a little tricky to get them this way. So you can just make this bracelet with the rubber bands not crossed, and I need to find my example with that. Alright, here it is. So you can make your bracelet also look like this if you do not want the crossing rubber bands in the middle. But I will be showing you how to cross the rubber bands in the middle, but if you do not want to cross them, then you can just go ahead and decide that for yourself. But yeah. So, to figure out how many of each type of rubber band you'll need, just go down in the description to figure out how much you'll need for each section and how long each section is. And yeah, so just go ahead and get your supplies. Use the pause button if you need to, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So, just going to clear all this off. Right, it looks a little bit dark, so I'm going to go ahead and actually turn on my light real quick. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So to begin making your Angelic Hearts bracelet, you will need to get your hook and 1 C color rubber band. To start, we're going to start by making the cap band for the bracelet. So the first rubber band that's used to make your bracelet. And to make your cap band, you're just going to put this rubber band that is going to be your cap band, the C color rubber band, on your hook. Then you're going to twist the rubber band while it's on your hook, and this new little shape here that you create when you twist the rubber band that's not on your hook, you'll go ahead and put that on your hook. So there you go. This is what you should have on your hook, something like this. And now what we're going to do is now we're going to start actually making the bracelet. So the pattern for making this bracelet is already going to start. There's no extra rubber bands you have to add before the pattern actually starts. The pattern for making this bracelet goes like this. So first we need one C color rubber band, and what you're going to do is you're going to take this C color rubber band, put it on the actual part of your hook like so, and slide all of the rubber bands that are on your hook currently onto this new C color rubber band. And there should only be your cap band there, so once you get that cap band on the rubber band, on this new rubber band, put the other end of the new rubber band you're holding with your fingers onto your hook as well. And it should look something like this. Now we're going to add some wing rubber bands, or B color rubber bands. So you're going to need 5 to start, but 10 for the entire heart. So 5 to start. You're just going to put you're going to get one B color rubber band, put it on your hook like so, and slide only this first loop here. So as you can see, there's 2 sides of this C color rubber band on your hook. You're going to only slide the first loop, so this side closest to the actual part of your hook, onto this B color rubber band. Alright, and once you do that, you're going to go ahead and put the other end of this B color rubber band on your hook as well. Alright, if you hear that talking in the background, that's my sister. I'll probably tell her to be quiet in a few minutes, but anyway. So what you do now, once you have this B color rubber band on, you're going to get another one, do the exact same thing. You're going to put it on your hook like so, and then slide this very first loop. So now it's a B color rubber band here. You're just going to go ahead and slide this very first loop onto this new B color rubber band. Then you'll put the other end of the B color rubber band you're holding with your fingers onto your hook. And as you can see, my fingers are getting a little bit sparkly because these are the sparkly white rubber bands. Right, anyway. Then you're going to do this for the other 3 rubber bands you have. So the other 3 B color rubber bands. So slide the very first loop onto the new B color rubber band, and then put this other end here on. Alright. Then you're going to do the same thing again. This should be the 4th B color rubber band you're adding. So slide only the first loop on. And then you'll do this one last time with a 5th B color rubber band. You'll put on your hook, slide only the first loop on, and then put the other end here on your hook. So as you can see here, it's getting pretty crowded on my hook, and that is why you're going to want a longer, I guess, neck on your hook, I guess we can call it. So if you have a hook like this, then yeah, that's why I recommended that. As you can see, this hook is just long enough for me. Alright, so make sure you only have 5 rubber bands to check. You cover up this first loop that's closest to the hook part of your hook and count all of the B color rubber bands there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So make sure you only have 5. And this very first loop does not count. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This wasn't there, but yeah, so make sure you only have 5. Now you're going to start adding some A color rubber bands or heart rubber bands. And you're going to get 2 of them to start. You're going to go ahead and just put them both on the actual hook part of your hook like so, and then slide all of the B color rubber bands that are on your hook currently onto these 2 A color rubber bands. You're not going to slide this C color loop right here, only the B color loops and rubber bands. So all of those go onto these 2 A color rubber bands, and then you put the other end of the A color rubber bands that are being held by your fingers onto your hook as well. Alright, now we need to do the same thing that we did here on this side of the first C color rubber band, so this one here. Now for this other loop here on the other side of the bracelet, I guess we could say. So we need to flip these rubber bands around. And, well, to do this, we need to kind of pinch the bands together, not too, oh, I'm moving the camera. It's not very good. You need to kind of pinch these bands together, not too much that it's hard to put them back on, because you'll need to take the rubber bands off of your hook, then turn them around, and then put your hook going back through all these bands. And there you go. Alright. So once you've done this C color loop should be on the opposite side it was on before. And now we're going to do the exact same thing again. So we're going to get 5 B color rubber bands. And yeah, so the exact same thing we did before. We're going to get 1 B color rubber band to start. And we're going to slide only the first loop that's here on our hook. So this C color loop here. Just slide it onto this new B color rubber band. And put the other end of the B color rubber band you're holding with your fingers on your hook. And do this for the remaining 4 B color rubber bands. Put the B color rubber band on your hook. Slide only the very first loop. It should be a B color band now. And then put the other end of this new B color rubber band you're holding with your fingers onto your hook. So just do this for the remaining, now 3 B color rubber bands. So yeah, just one more band for me. There you go. So make sure you've added 5 B color rubber bands to check. You just cover up the very first loop that's closest to the actual part of your hook. And then count however many B color bands are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get 2 A color rubber bands again. And we're going to do the exact same thing we did before. Put both of these A color rubber bands on the actual part of your hook, like so, and slide all of these B color rubber bands that are on your hook onto these 2 new A color rubber bands. Then once they're all on, you're going to go ahead and put the other end of the 2 A color rubber bands on your hook. And now all that should be on your hook right now is 4 A color rubber bands. Alright. Now we need to add the center part of the heart, so this center rubber band here. So you just need 1 A color rubber band for this. And what you're going to do is you're going to take these first 2 A color rubber bands, so these 2 right here, that are closest to the actual hook part of your hook, and these first 2 A color rubber bands are counted as 1 loop. So they are 1 loop, and then these 2 A color bands are 1 loop, these 2 are 1 loop, and these are another loop. So only this first loop here. What you're going to do is you're going to take it off of your hook and put it on a finger that you're not using, or attach a clip to it. You do not want to lose this, or the rubber bands that are on the A color rubber band there, or these 2. So you need to put this A color band somewhere. Then you're going to get this new A color rubber band, put it on the actual part of your hook, like all your other rubber bands, and slide the new first 2 loops that are on your hook. So the 4 rubber bands, the 4 A color rubber bands that are closest to the actual part of your hook. So this loop here and this loop here. And both of the loops are made up, or both of them together are made up of 4 rubber bands. So this first loop is 2 rubber bands, and then you have this second loop here. It is also made of 2 rubber bands. And there you go. So now you should have 2 A color rubber bands left on your hook, and then this third one here, because that's what you're adding. You're going to go ahead and put the other end of this rubber band, this new A color rubber band you're adding to your bracelet, onto your hook. And then you can put these 2 A color rubber bands, this loop here that you had put on your finger or attached a clip to, back on your hook. If that was confusing, I will be showing you how to do this again so don't worry. Alright, so there we go. That is how you make one heart for your Angelic Hearts bracelet. Now I'm going to show you the process for making this, where you can have a crossed rubber band. So now we can actually cross the rubber bands. So yeah, so if you wanted to cross the rubber bands in the middle, then here is what you do. So to make the Angelic Hearts bracelet, you need 1 C color rubber band, 5 A color rubber bands, and 10 B color rubber bands. So 5 A color rubber bands, 10 B color rubber bands, and 1 C color rubber band. And I'm pretty sure this is not 10, but just throw a couple more. Okay, so there we go. So the process for making this bracelet is, oh yes, also I'm only going to be showing you how to do this one more time, because I don't want this tutorial to be too long, because it's already 16 minutes, so oh my. So I'm only going to show you the pattern one more time, and yeah, then I'm going to show you how to finish off the bracelet. So to make the Angelic Hearts bracelet, you're going to take this C color rubber band first. You're going to put it on the actual hook part of your hook and slide all of these rubber bands that are on your hook currently onto this new C color rubber band. So the C color rubber band is the connector band. And all of the rubber bands you just slid onto this new C color rubber band should all be A color rubber bands. Right, then you put the other end of this C color rubber band on your hook. And as you can see your very first heart. Alright, now I'm going to show you how you cross the rubber bands. And if you do not wish to cross the rubber bands, then don't do this, just slide the first loop on. So you're going to go ahead and get a B color rubber band. You'll need 5 to start off. So to start, you'll need 5. You're going to get one of these 5 B color rubber bands, put it on the actual hook part of your hook, and if you are not going to cross these rubber bands, you just slide this very first loop, so this loop here that's closest to the actual hook part of your hook, on there. But if you are crossing the rubber bands, you're going to slide this loop over here that's farther away from the actual part of your hook on. So this first loop, you're going to get it caught in the actual, so right here, you're going to get caught right there. And then the other loop, you're going to cross over it and onto the B color rubber band. So you can kind of already see the crossing, and you will need to hold the rubber band a little bit, or put it under your hook like that. So you can already see the crossing happening right there. So once you have that on, or wait, I'm going to show you one more time. That's probably a good idea. So this loop over here that's farthest away from the actual hook part of your hook, you're going to take this first loop, you're going to get it kind of stuck on your hook so it doesn't slide past. You're only going to slide this second loop, and the second loop will be kind of crossed over. So like that. And if you get it stuck underneath your hook like this, that is also helpful. Alright, so that's if you're crossing the rubber bands, and that's what I'm doing. So once you get whatever loop you're going to put on this B color rubber band on there, you're going to take this end of the B color rubber band you're holding with your fingers, put it on your hook. So you should still have a C color loop there. Okay, sorry. Now you're going to get another B color rubber band, put it on the actual hook part of your hook, and slide only the very first loop that is on your hook onto the new B color rubber band. So only the very first loop, no matter what you're doing. Alright, now you're going to do the same thing again. You're going to get another B color rubber band. This should be the third one now. Put it on the actual hook part of your hook and slide only the very first loop that is here on your hook onto this new B color rubber band. Then you'll put the other end of the B color rubber band you're holding with your fingers onto your hook. And then you'll do this 2 more times for the remaining 2 B color rubber bands you need for this side of the heart. So you slide only the first loop on, put put the other end of the rubber band on your hook as well. And then one more time. So once you finish this, make sure you have 5 rubber bands, or 5 B color rubber bands on your hook, and to check, you cover up this very first loop and then count how many B color rubber bands are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start to, add A color rubber bands. And to start we need 2. And what we do is we just put them both on the actual hook part of our hook, just like all of our other rubber bands, and slide all of the B color rubber bands and loops, only the B color ones, onto these 2 A color bands, not this C color loop right here. Right, then you put the other end of these 2 A color rubber bands onto your hook as well, and now you have a little over half of your heart, your second heart. Now what we need to do is we need to do the exact same thing we did here on this side of the C color rubber band on the other side, and the other side is this one little loop right here, and we need to attach bands to it. So to do that we need to flip the rubber bands that are on your hook around, and to do that you kind of just pinch the bands together, not too tight, because you don't want to make the loops too small. So you just kind of hold the bands together, take them off of your hook, turn them around, it's a little bit blurry, then you slide your hook back through all of the rubber bands that you were just holding. There you go. And make sure you don't catch any of these B color rubber bands. That's very important. Right, and now your C color loop should be on the opposite side it was on before. Now you're going to do the same thing you did before on this side of your heart. You're going to get 5 B color rubber bands. Oop, that's 6. Okay. Then what you're going to do is just take one of your B color rubber bands, and no matter if you're if you're twisting the C color rubber band here, you'll be doing the same thing as everyone else. You'll just get your hook and this B color rubber band, put it on the actual hook part of your hook like all the other rubber bands, slide the very first loop, which should be a C color rubber band, onto this new B color rubber band, and then put the other end of the B color rubber band onto your hook. So if your rubber bands are going to be crossed, you can already see the crossing happening for your bracelet. Alright, now you're just going to add the other 4 B color rubber bands the same way. Put it on your hook, and you slide the very first loop only, put the other end you're holding onto your hook. Do this for all 3 remaining rubber bands. Alright, and once you've done that for all 5 that you need for this side of your heart, just make sure you have 5 on there. Just cover up this very first loop and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I already know I have 5. Ooh, make sure that doesn't happen. And now what we need to do is we need to get 2 more A color rubber bands and add them the same way we did the first time. We take 2 A color rubber bands, put them on the actual part of our hook, and slide all of the B color loops and rubber bands onto these 2 A color rubber bands. Only the B color ones. And once all of your B color rubber bands are on these 2 A color rubber bands, you go ahead and put the other end of these 2 A color rubber bands onto your hook. And now all we need to do is add the center part, the middle part here, to your heart. So, what we do is we get 1 A color rubber band for this. And like I said before, these first 2 A color rubber bands right here, they are 1 loop. These two right here are another loop. These two here are another loop, and these two here are another loop. Loop, 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 loop. So, what we do is we take off this very first loop here of 2 A-color rubber bands and put it on our finger or on a clip. Make sure you do not lose this rubber or these 2 rubber bands or the rubber bands on them. Then you take this 1 A-color rubber band, put it on the actual hook part of your hook, like all of your other rubber bands, and then slide the new first 2 loops onto this rubber band. So this loop here with these 2 A-color bands, and this loop here with these 2 A-color rubber bands. So these 2 and these 2. So now you should have 2 A-color rubber bands left, 1 loop, and then this 1 A-color rubber band that you're adding. But once you have these rubber bands here on, you can go ahead and put the other end of the new A-color rubber band back on your, on your hook. And then these 2 A-color rubber bands you've had on your fingers or on a clip, you can go ahead and put those back on as well. And there you go. Now you have your second angelic heart for your angelic heart bracelet. And all you have to do is just continue this pattern of adding, looming, moving, and all that craziness over and over until you have made your bracelet long enough to fit around your wrist, or long enough for whoever's wrist you're making this for, if you're making this for something, or for someone. Oh my. And yeah. But for the sake of this tutorial, I will not be continuing because I no longer edit my tutorials, if you do not know that. I used to, but I don't anymore. And yeah, so now I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to finish off your bracelet. So just use the pause button and finish your bracelet. And yeah, so I'm going to show you how you finish your bracelet off. So, to do this, you're going to need a C-color rubber band and a clip. And what we're going to do is we're going to get this C-color rubber band. We're going to put it on the actual hook part of our hook, just like all of our other rubber bands. I mean, where else are you going to put this? Then you're going to slide all of the rubber bands that are on your hook currently onto this new C-color rubber band. Then you put the other end of the C-color rubber band onto your hook, and then what you do is you get a clip, get your clip, and attach it to this C-color rubber band here. Now, if you stopped making your bracelet about halfway through because you ran out of a certain type of rubber band, so you just have a heart and then the bracelet's only long enough to fit maybe halfway around your wrist, all you have to do is just add an extension of whatever color rubber bands you would like. Maybe you ran out of C-color rubber bands. All you have to do to make an extension, a single chain extension, you just put the next rubber band for your extension on your hook and slide all of the other rubber bands that are on your hook, which there should only be one on there. So one other rubber band. And you just slide that rubber band onto the new rubber band and then put the other end of the new rubber band on your hook. And that is how you make an extension. But that is not what I'm doing. So you just get your clip, attach it to this last rubber band here that's on your hook. Sorry you could not see that, but just get your clip onto the rubber bands like so. And once your clip is on, you can take them off of your hook and then attach your clip to your cap band on the other end of your bracelet. So your cap band is this rubber band that's trying to look a little butterfly or something here on top, or a circular rubber band. You're just going to get it and attach it to your clip. And if you think you need to do this, you can stretch the cap band out and then get it on your clip, like put it on your fingers or something. That sometimes helps. But yeah, now you should have your clip on both ends of your bracelet, and now your bracelet is a bracelet. So you can go ahead and put it on, but I can't really do that because mine's a little bit too small, so yeah. So I guess now it's time for the outro. So I would like to thank you for watching my tutorial. Hopefully it showed you how to make the Angelic Hearts bracelet successfully, and hopefully now you have your Angelic Hearts bracelet and wearing it and enjoying it and all that fun stuff you can do with a bracelet. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial. That's pretty much all I have to say, other than thanks for watching and bye.